Let's talk dehumanization. Now, first let me just say, jumping right into this, that I was in the United States Marine Corps for 13 years and primarily as an infantryman, meaning my job was to essentially pull the trigger and fight the bad guys. And in the course of my career, in which I spent 13 years in many different capacities, I was a machine gunner, I was a counterintelligence specialist, and I was a light armored reconnaissance infantry platoon sergeant. I also fulfilled roles of squad leader, team leader, platoon sergeant, even I fulfilled the role of a first sergeant at one period during my career. Now, I spent about 4 years during my time in Quantico, Virginia, teaching combat. I was a combat instructor, where I actually taught about the combat mindset, how to employ certain types of tactics and techniques, and most importantly, teaching these young lieutenants how to lead Marines in combat of all different environments and terrains. Additionally, I myself, of course, went through all types of training, but most notably, I went through boot camp and the School of Infantry, and that's where I really want to focus my attention right now. You see, one of the most common tactics that we see used by military forces is this thing called dehumanization. And I'm sure many of you may already be familiar with its tenets, and it's just this idea that we take other groups of people and we broadly categorize them into some subhuman category. Like, for example, one of the things they used to call the bad guys when we were in Iraq is this. And that was one of the dehumanization efforts they used to try and think of them just like a bad guy. They're not a real individual person with their own families, morals, ethics, and lives. They're just simply this, and because of that, they're fair game to be shot. We see the same type of things happening in all the different wars. There was always racist dehumanization techniques and terminology that was always thrown around in every American war that I know of in reference to the enemy, to broadly categorize them all as just simply being whatever racist thing that they are. This makes it easier for the American forces when they need to just pull the trigger and shoot the bad guy and go bang, bang, bad guy dead. It's easier to sort of just compartmentalize what just happened that way by taking on this dehumanized effort and mindset. You see the same thing when we're playing video games and you're shooting non-player characters, or you're shooting people on the internet who are going to respawn anyways. You get this dehumanization that occurs where people are no longer people, they're just simply target. But what about religious dehumanization? That's something I really want to mention here. This is the process whereby one religion mass categorizes and generalizes everyone else outside of their religion in order to dehumanize them and take away their perspectives and their reality. Oh, they're all sinners, they all have demons, they're all lost, they're all confused, they're all godless, they all hate God. When these religious dehumanization efforts are put into place, it makes it very, very hard for the adherents of that religion to have any empathy for people outside of their own core belief set.